Hello, my dear students. Good morning, and I welcome you all to this new class. We are almost at the end of this lesson, and today we shall deal with another type of non-conventional source of energy, that is geothermal energy. And geo means from the earth. So you can follow also in your textbook, page number 35. And heat energy obtained from the earth is called geothermal energy. So we know at the bottom of the earth or the deep inside the earth, the temperature is very high. So that sometimes comes out in the form of water. So the water that comes out, it will be so hot. So using that also we can produce energy. So many places you might have heard about garam pani and so on. So hot springs, spring water that is very hot comes out from inside the earth, and sometimes we generate it as a miracle and so on. So the fact is that the deeper we go inside the earth, the higher the pressure, the heat is becoming deeper and deeper. So if a water source is coming out from there, then naturally the water will be very hot. So using this water, we can use it for cooking or for heating or for several other purposes. So we can use it for many purposes. And you might have seen here in your picture, there is the picture or the process of making use of geothermal energy. So the water that comes out from under the earth is sent into the turbine, and the generator is connected to that turbine, and so they produce electricity in that way. So they put pipe into that source from where the hot spring comes out, and through that pipe water comes and directed to the turbines, and the turbine starts running, and the turbine is connected to generator, and therefore the generator will produce electricity. So that is the procedure. And the first tidal energy, that is we shall see later. So USA has the world's largest geothermal plants, followed by New Zealand, Iceland, Philippines and Central America. So the largest geothermal power plants are in USA. USA generates a lot of electricity from the geothermal plants. And then some other countries like New Zealand, Iceland, Philippines and Central America, they are also have got this geothermal plant. They are able to produce electricity from the hot spring that comes out from the earth. Then let's see what happens in India. In India, geothermal plants are located at Manikaran in Himachal Pradesh and Pugawali in Ladakh. So we have only just two places where the hot springs are available, and that is one in Himachal Pradesh, the place called Manikaran. Another one is Pugawali, that is in Ladakh. So these are the two places where these geothermal power plants are available in India. Now let's come to another type of non-conventional source of energy, that is tidal energy. Tidal energy. So tide, by the very name you can understand what is tide. It is a high tide and low tide due to the gravitation force of the earth. Water comes up, water comes down. So that way during this process of waters rising and falling, you can produce electricity. That also you can see the picture in your textbooks. You can see from during the high tide and from the low tide, the electricity is produced. So it is also connected with turbine and generator. The process is same. We have to make this water pass through this pipe and put into the turbine, and the turbine starts running and generator functions. And the first tidal energy station was built in France. You can underline, it is given in the column here. The first tidal energy in the world, it was started in France. So energy generated from the tides is called tidal energy. You can underline that also. What do you understand by tidal energy? The energy that is generated from the tides. And the tidal energy can be harnessed by building dams at narrow openings of the sea. So some places the sea has got a very narrow opening, not very broad but very narrow. So that place we can make a dam. If it is very broad, then very difficult to make dam. So make the dam in that narrow place. Then during the high tide, the energy of the tides is used to turn the turbine installed in the dam to produce electricity. So in that dam, the turbines are installed, and when the high tide comes, water will enter into it and the turbine will start running. Then turbine is connected to generator and it will provide electricity. Then Russia, France and Gulf of Kutch in India have huge tidal milk farms. So some countries like Russia or France and Gulf of Kutch, that is in India. So these are the places where there are a lot of tidal dams are built. So you can see in the picture, it is a dam built, and over the dam we can see it is a road, bridge, vehicles are running. So wherever it is, in a very narrow place, it is easy to make it dam. Such places are made use. Now another thing that is from the non-conventional is biogas. Biogas. So organic waste such as dead plant and animal material, animal dung and kitchen waste can be converted into gaseous fuel called biogas. So how to produce this biogas? We can collect all the organic waste. Lot of waste is there in our houses, from the kitchen and so on. Very often we go and throw it somewhere. So we can use them to produce biogas. So those organic waste, not this glass and other things, that should not be. Only organic waste that can be diluted, that can become part of the earth, which can be disintegrated. That is called organic waste. So this kind of organic waste, which is of vegetables and other things, and also the dead plant, the trees, the leaves, and the animal material, maybe the waste of the animals. If you cut animals, maybe the skin, the other intestine, all those things which are waste, and also the animal dung, the cow dung and other things, and all the kitchen waste. All these things can be put into a tank. We can see the picture here, how or the process that is instituted, that is installed for making this biogas. So this biogas can be installed. This set can be installed by following this measure. So there will be a big tank, and another opening will be there for putting all this waste into each every day. Then there will be another place to take out. Once it is already formed the gas, then it becomes a waste and it comes out, and that can be removed. So let us see. So it can be converted into biogas, gaseous biogas. So the waste that we have every day in our life, that should not be just throw it away and make the place dirty. Instead we can convert them into gas, and that way we can save a lot of fuel. Then the organic waste decomposed by bacteria in biogas digesters to emit biogas, which is essentially a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. So all these waste that we put into this tank, what happens to it? They are decomposed by the activities of bacteria and converted into gas. And this biogas is a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. So that is a combustion of this biogas, methane and carbon dioxide. You can underline what are the components of this biogas, methane and carbon dioxide. Then biogas is an excellent fuel for cooking and lighting and produce huge amount of organic manure each year. So when we make this biogas, it has got two advantages. One is that we get plenty of gas for cooking, and another one is we also get the manure, the waste that is coming out from this after decomposing, the waste that is pushed out of this tank. That is a very good manure for the garden. So on the one side we get gas for cooking, and the other side we get manure for cultivation. Therefore it is of double purpose. Then energy is everywhere, but we can see that harnessing this energy is both difficult as well as costly. So we studied about different types of energy, conventional source of energy and non-conventional source of energy. And we said there is lot of energy is available, solar energy, tidal energy and so on. And this energy is there, but to harness it, to make it available, it is very difficult and it is also very costly. It is not that easy. You need to set up so many things. So it involves a lot of hard work, and it is also involving a lot of expenses. Then each one of us can make a difference by not wasting energy. So the best thing that we can do is, if we want to produce energy, it is not easy for us. We need to have a lot of technologies. So as students, what we can do is we can make sure that we do not waste the energy, maybe electricity or maybe gas or maybe water, whatever is available, we should not waste it. We can save it. That is also adding to the total to the energy. And energy saved is energy generated. So we remember, you may not be able to generate energy, but if you are able to save energy, it is equal to generating the energy. So that can be done by everyone. Everyone can generate energy by saving energy. So act now and make brighter energy future. So if you are ready to act now, then you will have a bright future. Otherwise our future will be dim. We do not know what will happen to us, whether we will have enough energy or not to survive, to meet our daily needs and so on. So before it is too late, we must start saving, preserving the energy. That is how we can cooperate with the authorities, and we can save energy for our future generations. Now we have studied about all these conventional source of energy, non-conventional source of energy. Let us see what are the advantages of using this energy. So just as we saw, there are some advantages and disadvantages when we use the conventional source of energy. The same way, when we use the non-conventional source of energy also, there is a lot of difficulties, advantages and disadvantages are there. Let us see that. You can see in your textbook, page number 33. So first let us see the wind energy. What are the advantages of wind energy? So we see that it is non-polluting. There is no pollution if you use wind energy. It is low cost production of electricity once set up. So once the setting up is over, the production is not costly at all, very low cost. Then safe and clean. So wind energy is very safe and clean as well. Then let's see what are the disadvantages. So one is noise pollution. So where the windmill is there, the fan will be running full speed and there will be lot of noise. So people who are living nearby, they have a lot of disturbance is there coming from this noise of the fan. Then windmills costly to set up. So once it is set up, it is very costly. But in order to set up, we need to spend a lot of money. It is very expensive. Then when there is windmill is there, it disturbs radio and TV reception. It disrupts or disturbs the signal of TV and radio. So people in the rural area, they completely depend on radio and TV and so on. And if the windmill is there, then they are not able to receive signal properly. They can't listen news or other programs in the TV and radio. Then harmful to birds. Another thing is these fans, big fans are rotating high speed, and if any bird happen to come through that way, then it will be killed by this fan. So it is very harmful for the birds, not safe at all. So good points are there, at the same time disadvantages as well. Now let's see about solar energy. What is advantage for solar energy? So solar energy is advantage is inexhaustible. So it doesn't get over. It continuously comes every day. Then it is non-polluting. Just like the wind energy, the solar energy also is non-polluting. Then the disadvantages are it is very expensive to set up. So we need to do a lot of solar panels. We need to buy, and so it becomes very expensive. Then diffuse source, so gets wasted. So the sources get diffused and then it gets wasted. So the storing all that, it has to be there, and otherwise it will be simply wasted. Then let's see about tidal energy. What is the advantage of tidal energy? And it is also non-polluting and it is inexhaustible. Just like the solar energy, it is non-polluting as well as inexhaustible. But then the disadvantage is that it destroys wildlife habitat. So when we make a dam, the water level goes high and the forest, everything will go under the water. The animals who are staying in that under the trees, in the cave and so, they will lose their habitat. All the place will be under the water and the animal will have to run for life. So it is not good for animals and difficult to harness. So it is also very difficult because we have to build such a nice dam and then we have to fix generator, and so it is also very expensive, very difficult. Then nuclear energy. What are the advantages of nuclear energy? So it advantage is that it emits large amount of energy. So if you take energy from the fusion of nuclear, then it gives lot of energy. That is advantage. It is from a small atom we will be able to get a lot of energy. But disadvantage is that generates radioactive waste. So when each atom is fused, it generates not only the energy but it also creates radioactive. So radiation will be there. Lot of radiation will be there, and so it is harmful for the people who are living nearby. Then it is also very expensive. So it is true that we get plenty of energy, but at the same time, in order to get this energy, we need to spend a lot of money. Therefore, it is very not that easy. Then another one is biogas. Just now we have heard about biogas. So advantage is it is low cost. We don't have to spend too much money. Only the waste that is in our house, the animal dung, everything, the waste, everything can be put into this. So the expense is very less and easy to operate. So anybody, ordinary people can operate it. They don't need too much training and so on. Then makes use of bio waste. So all the waste that is there in our house, we don't have to search for a place to throw this waste. All that can be put into this tank and that will become gas, and afterwards we will get manure for our garden as well. And the disadvantage is that it causes greenhouse effects. So we said the contents of this biogas is methane and carbon dioxide. So this gas produces carbon dioxide, and when the carbon dioxide is increasing, we know what happens. It increases the heat. So that's why it is showing it increases or causes greenhouse effect. So on the one side it is very easy, very cheap, it saves the waste and so on, but on the other side it is harmful to the environment because it produces or it increases the amount of carbon dioxide, and that way it increases the heat in the atmosphere. So one side it is good, other side it is harmful. Then geothermal energy, another type of energy is geothermal, and clean, eco-friendly and always available. So it is clean, eco-friendly and always available. So there is no pollution there, and it is very eco-friendly and it is always available. As long as these hot springs are there, we will continue to get energy from there. But the disadvantage is that located far away from cities and so costly to transport the electricity. So these hot springs are not in the city where the people are living or where the industries are there, but it is far away from the city in the mountainside and so on maybe. So from there we have to produce electricity and transport it to the towns to make it available to the people. So transportation becomes little expensive. From far away we have to bring the electricity, maybe through cable, through wire and so on. So that becomes one expensive way. Otherwise it is very clean and always available and so on. So we saw different types of energy. In the beginning of this lesson we saw the conventional source of energy, which is very common for the people to use. And then we saw the non-conventional sources of energy, which people have recently started using, not very common, like solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy and so on. They are not very common, but some places people started using it because the technology has been put into practice in the recent years, and therefore it is made available to the people now. So we come to the end of this third lesson, and we learned about different types of energy, and more than that we learned that energy is precious and we need to preserve it. We should not waste it. That is what the most important lesson that we have learned. So I hope all of you will take it seriously and practice it in your life and teach others also about the importance of energy. Otherwise we are going to suffer in the future, and the coming generations also will suffer, and all the developments, everything will be stopped. Without energy nothing is possible. So let us take care of it and not make ourselves struggle in the future. Now let's also do a few exercises that are given at the end of the lesson, page number 37. You find the second one, tick the correct answer. Tick the correct answer. So first one, which one of the following is not a characteristic of minerals? So different characteristics of the minerals are given there, but one is not its characteristic. What is that? The answer is number C. They are inexhaustible. So that is the answer. Then second one, which one of the following is not a producer of mica? So many things are produced of mica, but one place is not producing mica. What is the answer? Number B, Karnataka. Karnataka is not producing mica. Then number 3, which one of the following is a leading producer of copper in the world? So which country is the leading producer of copper in the world? That is Chile. Chile is a leading producer of copper in the world. Then number 4, which one of the following practices will not conserve LPG in your kitchen? So in order to conserve or preserve LPG in the kitchen, what are the things that we need to do. And one thing that is given here is wrong. We have to pick up that wrong one. So the wrong one is the last one, number D. Cooking food in an open pan kept on a low flame. So when you cook the food, if you don't cover it, keep it open, and if you reduce the flame, then it will take long time to get cooked, and we are wasting the gas. So that is the answer. That is not helping us to conserve LPG gas. So the rest I will give you in the group, and you will be able to write it down and submit to me. So we will wind up for today. In the next class we shall see another lesson. So till then, have a nice day.